Well, the push to legalize marijuana appears to be gaining some momentum, and it's not just hippies hopping on the bandwagon. Our next guest is a Republican activist, a married mother of two, and that she is arguing that marijuana legalization is a conservative issue. Jessica Corry is a former press secretary for a Republican member of the Senate and was named one of Colorado's most influential professional women. She joins us now live from Denver. Jessica, welcome to you. I got to ask you first question, why take on this particular fight?
Thank you. Well, I'm a lifelong Republican, and as a mother of two, I believe we as a party have failed to uphold our commitment to individual rights and responsibility. If somebody wants to smoke marijuana or if they want to consume too many cheeseburgers, that's their right. And I, as a taxpayer, don't think I should have to fund a prohibition against that behavior, nor should I be responsible for the repercussions that come upon that person personally.
All right, let me ask you though, cheeseburgers not impaired when you eat those, but if you smoke pot and get behind the wheel of a car, that's a different situation. Are you putting them on the same playing field?
Well, I would never advocate being intoxicated with marijuana when driving, and I don't think anybody who's part of this growing nonpartisan movement to legalize marijuana would say that. But in fact, we would say that obesity, alcohol, cigarettes, all things that are legal are far more dangerous than marijuana. And as a mom, I look at such key emerging science, which our government has neglected over the last decade. It shows that alcohol has a far more detrimental effect on juvenile brain development than marijuana ever will. Marijuana doesn't kill people. Marijuana doesn't make people violent. And in my own state of Colorado, like 14 other states in the United States, we see that prescription drugs are the #1 killer now, more than accidental car deaths. So we need to refocus our priorities. And for so long, marijuana has been villainized and been the boogeyman. But the science shows that it is actually much safer. And our public policy priorities in these incredibly difficult fiscal times should reflect these realities.
All right, Jessica, we are talking about a mind-altering substance, marijuana, as well as alcohol as well. And I understand that conservatives feel like you should make your own decisions and have your own responsibilities and repercussions. But where do you draw the line to somebody who's going to say, I'm going to shoot up heroin, but I'm only going to stay in my house and I'm not going to get behind the wheel of a car or affect somebody else? I mean, when we're talking about something that alters your mind and your ability to make good judgments, where do you draw the line?
Well, I think in these difficult economic times, we can have philosophical debates about where to draw that line. But what's more important and what we should be doing today is looking at every line item on our budget. And marijuana needs to be at the top of the list for that debate. We know that marijuana alters the mind just as alcohol and other drugs do. But is it worth it to send 850,000 Americans into our criminal justice system every year because they're smoking a substance far less dangerous than alcohol? Is it worth it to spend $30,000 a year per drug offender in this country to put them behind bars? Meanwhile, we have violent, real criminals being let out of our prisons because they're bursting at the seams. We spend three times the amount on incarcerating individuals than we do on educating the average American student. So while we can have that conversation another day about heroin or far more serious drugs, for today, our priority needs to be on ending the generational child abuse that has become our federal deficit. My girls deserve better than a government that is going to bankrupt them over marijuana. And I'm not going to stand here, or sit here rather, and take that easily.
All right, Jessica Corry, a very interesting debate. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.